This is Diggory Hadoke for the Vintage Gun Journal, and we're looking at an 1880s vintage side lock here. This one is a W&C Scott, and you can see here the lettering on the engravings indicates the patent crystal indicator, which is that Perspex or 1880s equivalent of it. See-through window, and through that you can see the tumbler or the hammer, if you like, which falls forward and hits the striker and fires the gun. When it's cocked, you can see it in the window, and when it's not cocked, you can't. So in the early days of hammerless guns, some sort of indicator about whether the gun was cocked or not was something that gun makers seemed a little bit preoccupied with, and this was quite a popular version of that idea. This one's quite unusual in that it has a side safety. Most of these do not. I can't recall seeing another one with one of those. Side safeties, of course, are usually associated with greener facile princeps guns, where they're inlet into the wood, but I've also come across these on early Wesley Richards box locks where they're up here, and also with the occasional Purdy side lock. I've even seen those in the metal of the side plate as well. This gun has Damascus barrels. As I say, it's the Scott and Baker patent, and as an early side lock it was quite popular, and in various iterations was used by a number of gun makers better known to retail from London, like Holland and Holland. It has the 1873 Dealey and Edge 4-end catch. Very handy device, originated by Wesley Richards and obviously adopted widely in the trade by everybody. Very nicely fitted and engraved, so the quality here is good. Top lever operation, and when you open the gun up you can see the patent action is engraved on it, and further you can see the patent number. It gives you here the patent 761, and also it says 147, which is usually an indication of how many of these patents have been made at that point. So this would be a very early one if that's correct. And then of course you have the serial number, and on the front of the bar here you've got two important projections. These move forwards and backwards, and they cock the gun. Now some people you'll see struggling to put these together. You've got to make sure when you do, these lateral projections on the lump are correctly inserted here, so that you can then get the hook into the hinge pin and then slot it into the bar there. It's a little bit fiddly if you don't get it lined up properly, and you see people really struggling. Whatever you do, do not fire this off without the barrels on it, because once you have, it's very, very difficult, if not impossible, to put it back together again. There are in existence cocking tools which pull these forward and cock the gun for you, but they are about as common as virgins in Billericay, so I wouldn't hold your breath in terms of finding one if you ever have a problem there, and the only other alternative is to take the whole gun apart and cock the locks manually. So don't do it, is my advice. So a successful design, quite commonly in use in the 1880s, but it didn't really see use into the modern era, unlike some of its contemporary guns like the Purdy and the Anson and Dealey box lock. I hope you've enjoyed looking at that.